Good evening. I'm here to talk to you about my blue Nile engagement ring that I purchased and just little details about it and what I did and what maybe can help you do, help you choose a diamond ring, when you're in the market. So jump right into it. So I went to Blue Nile and I had been looking at it for some time. I spent about a month and a half or so looking for an engagement ring, and I originally knew what setting I wanted, and something simple. What she actually told me what kind of setting she liked. So all I had to really do was search for a diamond. I wanted actually to be 1 carat. So, and I didn't really know a lot of details about it, like color, cut, clarity, any of that stuff. I had no clue anything about it at all. So I just started watching YouTube videos about different jewelers talking about it, even from all over the world, and they show some really nice ones. But what I have pictured here is the engagement ring, and I have 2 wedding bands that are were matching to it. And I bought 2 of them, and I had them soldered together so they her engagement ring will actually sit in between. So it comes out. So just I'll try to show it. It's 2 bands separately, if I can get it to focus. And let's see. There we go. So, but I had it soldered here and here so that her ring will sit right in between. And, she kind of showed me something like that, and so I went ahead and did that. So, but originally we're talking about this. This particular diamond is, if I can get it to focus, is a 1 carat or 1.05 carat E color VS1 clarity, and it is an ideal cut, and it also has a triple excellent as far as cut grade, polish, and symmetry. And then also being it was an ideal cut, it's gonna give a really good light return, fire, sparkle, the brilliance of it, which is what of course I wanted to, in the first place. As far as about cuts and clarity, obviously they range from good to ideal, and then there's actually like signature ones that are cut specifically to show hearts and arrows, but a lot of times you might need an A-set scope and things like that to actually see it. But this one, right lighting and angles, you can actually see the arrows are just kind of black in there. It has a medium blue fluorescence, which really you don't notice so much in the sunlight. But of course, different lightings, you'll get different effects on as far as the sparkle and everything. Just moving it around, you can see, again, getting the camera to focus on it. You can see the different fire. You can see the different sparkles on it. Zooming in and out, it's auto focusing. Not doing too well there. But again, it's also inscribed with the GIA certificate number, which of course it is GIA certified, and it's actually inscriptions are so tiny they're on the edges of it. I looked at it through a 60 power loop, and it is very tiny. It's really hard to make out, but I was able to, just to make sure that it was the diamond matching the certificate. But I'll go ahead. This is the box it came in. Just a regular box, and it says Blue Nile on it. I'll just go ahead and sit in here. It's kind of stretched out now because she has it set with her wedding band itself. But your information comes in envelope like this, important documents. If you want to insure your diamond ring or jewelry, depending on what you spend, you can do it, which I did because obviously I spent a good amount of money on it. But of course, if something happens to it, I want to make sure that I can actually replace it. But here's the grading, the GIA certificate that came with it. It gives it, the certificate number, round, brilliant, measurements, details on it. And then, like a chart here, proportions, and then also the characteristics, clarity, and then of course just a scale. You can see, where it is, mine's an E, is a VS1, and then of course it's cut is excellent, which is ideal. So that's pretty much what I got, and I never knew anything about this until I watched a video after I bought this. It was called a Holloway Cut Advisor, and you enter in these numbers here, the angles, the the diameter of the I guess the crown, and it gives you a scale, a number, and the best light performers, as it's stated, areas between 0 to 2.0. And this one was a 1.6, which I was very happy at, and I had nothing to, no idea about it. And it actually can help you choose the light performers, and it gives you the light spectrum in a way where it falls. And there's a lot of diamonds out there that are not, good performers, but they will sparkle, but not as good as some of the ones that like a 2.0 or less. But otherwise, this, obviously has the symbol for the GIA, just, reports and things like that. Not much of, little information here on the back of them. But otherwise, this comes with the diamond, GIA certified. As well, it also comes with an appraisal. For basically describing the ring and the diamond, and of course just this is a simulated picture that you see on the advertisements for it, but that's basically what it is, and the retail value, and it says prepared for the individual who buys it, and just of course if they have wedding bands that match, which is what I did. I plugged it in, and that's the ones I chose that were suggested, and so I chose this one. These have the stone colors are H, and the clarity is VS2, because I wanted to try to get as close as possible to the ones that I had, to the diamond that I bought, because I wanted to make sure there wasn't a color differentiation, as far as yellow and almost colorless. So this is about as best as I can do, is without making it customized, and that would actually cost even more and take more time. So I just went ahead and did this, but you really don't notice the color because these diamonds are a little smaller. But otherwise, of course, they, in the lighting, they sparkle, and of course they enhance is basically what they are, ring enhancer, just fits right in between here. And I mean, just the combination of all of them, they definitely catch your attention. When I went to a jeweler in New York, I had purchased a diamond ring, and I, checked back with him because I kept trying to say maybe if I change the color, because he was, originally I was getting an eye color, and it was an SI2, and I, thought that was pretty good. Of course, I looked it up, trying to figure out what it looks like, and I was not happy, after so long. I kept calling him so much, he started to get actually aggravated with me. And I mean, you could tell, I didn't say it, but I mean, how he would actually respond to his, emails, and even, of course, even talking to him on the phone. But, finally, I got the ring, and it was nice, but I just was still not happy with it. So I ended up selling it, and I put the money that I got, obviously I didn't get back what I paid for it, obviously, but I sold it, put it towards this one, and I, spent my time watching YouTube videos on different diamonds, and then of course even reading, different articles, and even, from, GIA, and finally I narrowed down my diamonds to about five of them, and I, ultimately went to a work on them one morning, and I just made the decision, okay, I'm doing it today. I made my decision on what diamond. I called Blue Nile and said, this is the one I want, this is the setting, paid for it over the phone, and then, within 4 days I bought it on a Sunday, I believe it was, and then I got it on a Wednesday. And so, of course, I was excited. They had it, it was overnighted, and all it does is comes in a brown box, just labeled, with the general label and your address. It doesn't say Blue Nile or anything for security reasons. And they didn't give me a tracking number because, again, the same thing, for security purposes. And so it was delivered at 10:30 in the morning. And so then I actually had it brought to me at work, and because my fiance and I worked together, and she was actually heading to another office, half of her day to the other office, and I actually just proposed to her right in the parking lot. She was getting ready to leave, and of course, she was, kind of expected one coming, but, I kind of surprised with it, it being sooner than what she thought. But, I was, happy with what I got, because I didn't really want to settle. I compared this diamond, the exact measurements, to other diamonds at other jewelers, customizing it, and there's a big price difference. I mean, one of them, for close enough to this diamond, is probably it was a 1.06, same color, clarity. It was $10,000, or it was a little over $10,000 just for the diamond. That wasn't including the setting. And I was just thinking, and of course, even to get that, it was going to be at least 2 weeks before I would even get it. But I mean, I was just, simulating it. And again, with, 2 other jewelry stores, it was the same thing, like 8,000, 9,000. And I mean, obviously, I didn't even pay that for this, but I mean, I would get a better quality diamond than what they would actually selling. And I mean, it's kind of hard to match this at any jewelry store without really paying an outrageous price. So again, it's a 1.05, which I wanted to be a 1 carat, and I'm certainly happy with this purchase. I again watched dozens of YouTube videos on different jewelers explaining the cuts, and they even showed demonstrations under different lighting, and the ASET scope, so you can see. And this one they showed, when I bought it, it was just a simulated picture. I didn't have a live picture like James Allen would show. And I asked them to send me a picture. They took one, a pair of tweezers holding a diamond, and they only showed it like the front view, right here. And so then I could actually see, you can in the kind of see if I can focus it on in a way. There's a black. Let's see if I can get it just right. Like with some black arrows in there. Those are the arrows, and you can't really see the hearts on the underside, where they are, being as it's already in a setting. But it's kind of, you can see the black. Those are the arrows, and they're in looking at it with the naked eye and in the lighting, in certain lighting, you can actually see they're very well formed, which is one of the things, because sometimes when they're cut, they may be not completely symmetrical in a way, but these were really good. I mean, I even looked at them with the loop, and I can even see that even the heads of them are well formed. I of course have been asked different by different people what just information on diamonds, and of course I tell them my story, what I did, how long of research I did, and then finally now, after everything and explaining so many times in videos or reading, I can actually hold a decent conversation with anybody that asks about a diamond. And I've even helped other people try to narrow down what they're doing, because again, you can shop it anywhere in the world online, no pressure from any salesman. You choose what diamond you want. They have them for different budgets, and of course again, you can pick your setting and then just wait for it. And so obviously there's some other benefits. They can do free resizing and a few other things like that, repairs. But again, obviously that everybody can do whatever they want. But James Allen and Blue Nile are pretty good ones to look from. I was going between back and forth looking at different diamonds, and I chose ultimately Blue Nile, created an account, and then I just went ahead and this is what I bought. And of course, I'm very happy with this. Did not settle for what they were, any other jeweler has. So, I mean, of course, she was amazed. She loves it. She named it Sparkles, which obviously it does quite a bit. Which again, it catches the eye of so many different people. And the ones they've gone to jewelry stores, you can even see a clear differentiation between the color. The majority of them are I's or J's. This is an E, so you're going to see that their diamonds don't sparkle as much, and you can see that they're yellow, whereas this one is a colorless grade, second to the highest. And I mean, obviously it's a very nice size stone, 1 carat. A lot of people's, there's usually less than a carat, half a carat maybe. And I mean, I of course compare everybody's diamond rings to this one if I see them. And of course, to say to myself, it's like, yeah, she's got a better ring than you do. Even though, yeah, they say, that might not be nice, but I just, kind of bragged to myself. And then, but, again, I was very happy with this. It's just a white gold setting, simple, which is what, she wanted. And, then I just chose the diamond. And of course, I would actually, if I were ever to have to, if something ever happened to replace, had to replace this, I mean, I can instantly go back to Blue Nile since I've insured it, and I would get to pick my jeweler. So basically, they would have to find something similar, which I've, kind of saved one diamond that is exactly the same, as far as the dimensions and all that stuff, just in case. But I mean, there's no guarantee that same diamond will be available, because they get sold pretty quick. And, you know, of course, I was hoping mine would be featured on their website, you know, recent diamond engagement rings, but, you know, they only choose certain ones, but it's okay. But otherwise, I'm happy with this. I know she's happy with this, but of course, you know, people, you can do your own research, you know, feel no pressure, go anywhere in the world, and you can, as long as you have a way to look online, you know, you can find, I'm sure, a diamond, whatever within your budget that, you know, will meet, you know, whatever you want, you know, obviously. You know, the diamond that I originally purchased before, you know, the price that I got, you know, I sold it for, you know, or even took the details of it and matched it. Oh, yeah, there was a big price difference. I mean, I paid almost double for that one than, you know, what Blue Nile had it listed for. And I mean, I was just thinking, wow, I just felt like I wasn't happy with that, but this I am. And hands down, would definitely, I like the experience of just doing it, just searching for it. But you know, I'm happy with it. And I mean, of course, I always recommend Blue. I mean, I have no bad experience with Blue Nile. You know, I've called and talked to them different questions. They've answered them. But I would definitely go back and buy through them again, which obviously I did with these. Otherwise, I recommend other people to do it. You know, obviously, you know, check it regularly, being as it's insured. You know, I'm, you know, obviously not as worried, but of course, I would hate for something to happen to this. But other than that, you know, just a simple presentation, you know, for what you get. I mean, really not spectacular versus something you might get from James Allen, but that's okay. You know, again, I didn't need necessarily the presentation, but I wanted something, you know, special, which I did, and I no regrets at all. You know, again, comes with, you know, the GIA certified, you know, your certificate, you know, it's inscribed with that number, basically your details of it. And you know, insurance, and obviously, you know, the appraisal, which obviously, you know, you would use that for insurance purposes. Other than that, I mean, I hope this would help, and of course, I like to show people what I've chosen, and hopefully they can help and, you know, understand what they would like to see. So I'll just kind of I'll give this one last, you know, view, and if I can get it to focus, you know, just see, you know. Obviously, this will, you know, a lot of people are still amazed by it, you know, because again, you know, just a time and effort I put into it, you know, definitely worth all that, you know, time I spent just to look for it. So thank you. Hopefully this can, you know, help you, you know, choose one or just even to look.